Okay, guys, welcome to another edition of Jackal's Corner. I am your host, Steven Longoria. Today, I got the guys of RuinKros here, but right now we want to do something special on Jackal's Corner today, and I want to hand the mic over to my boy Rick Phoenix, and he's got an awesome thing he needs to share. Something that I hope all my listeners will support, because it's something that I stand behind 100%. Being that I just beat cancer in October, this is something that hits my heart very deeply. And Jackal's Corner officially will say we are 100% standing behind him and his family during this time. So without further ado, here he is, my brother. Go ahead, man.
All right, guys. Where's the camera? Which one am I looking at? Right here. All right, guys. Basically, I'm coming on the show. Thank you guys for having me.
Definitely.
And you guys check out Lee's new band. What's the name of the band?
RuinKros.
Yeah, you guys check them out, man. And whoever's tuning in out there, I've already heard them. They've been on Q94.5. Check them out. This right here is a flyer for Rock Relief 2021, and basically I'm putting it together along with a bunch of awesome bands here in the Valley, like Mark Morales from Sons of Texas. He's going to be playing. I've got October Roar, Lizette Marie, Charlie Garcia. I'll be performing as well, and Flood 23 is coming together after a long time to actually play again. And check this out, Stillborn is coming back too. So
Nice.
shout out, guys, to you guys, and everybody, pretty much everybody, like Steven said right now, man, it's close. Like it's these guys have their heart in the right place, and we're all gonna go out there and rock out for my uncle Ray Flores, who has stage 4 lung cancer, and pretty much it's pretty bad. So we need immediate help on funds, which the goal is $20,000, and we've already raised about $7,000 on GoFundMe. So we'll post those links for you guys to, if you guys want to donate anything helps. Like I said, time is not on our side. So we're coming on all these shows and trying to ask the audience to please donate something, and definitely if you want to go to the show, that would be awesome too. That's January 2nd. It's going to be at the Spot in Harlingen, Texas, and these guys are going to go out there and rock for a good cause. And shout out to Mr. Reyes from the Spot for lending us the venue. Concert Culture is going to be providing sound.
Definitely.
Matt Rios, shout out to him. We got let me see. Basically Break the Science Productions is my company. We're putting it together with Concert Culture. You guys, the tickets are $15 pre-sale. All the bands on this bill are gonna have available tickets in case you guys want to attend. If you don't, you can always either donate to GoFundMe, and you can give the tickets to somebody that wants to go or something. We are gonna try to actually do a live stream from the show, from the actual show, to see, for people that don't want to go out to the show or something.
Yeah.
And maybe they can donate while checking out the show.
Definitely.
It's gonna be an awesome night for a great cause. Yeah, man. If you guys need anything, hit me up. You can look for me on Rick Phoenix Monzo, or Break the Science Productions Facebook page, or any of the bands on the bill.
Definitely.
Yeah.
All right, man. Well, definitely, guys, go out there and support this. I mean, I understand with everything going on with COVID, it's kind of scary to go to shows and everything like that. But if you can't go, donate. This is something serious. This is something that changes not just the patient's life, but the family's life. It changes everyone who loves them and remembers all the things about them that has changed now, and it's a hard time. They shouldn't have to worry about how are they going to save their loved one. This is the time now that the RGV community comes together and we show why we are the RGV. We show why 5x5 named a beer RGV Strong. That is what we need to do as people. It's time for us to show all these news outlets out there that say that we're these bad people and horrible people, that we are not, that we are family and we stick together. When time is hard, we come together. So we need to do this, guys. Find it in your hearts to donate to this. Go out to the show, support the talents. I mean, we got 2 bands on there that haven't played in forever and a day. Like, that in itself is worth going to the damn show. Like, so let's do this, guys. Let's support our brother who needs our help right now and his family. And yeah, man. So also, if you guys can't get hold of him, let me know and I'll get in touch with him and get any info you guys need. So definitely, brother.
Are the GoFundMe links like on the Facebook page? As well?
Yeah, they're on the Facebook page. All the GoFundMe. Also.
I can pull that up.
Yeah. If you can pull it up, it's a long address. That's why I don't always remember it.
Yeah,
But
I got you.
either way, and shout out to my Aunt Frances out there, who's being so great with my uncle right now during this time,
Definitely.
and my family out there being supportive and everything, and everybody that's donating stuff. Like the tickets were made by Allegra Printing. Shout out to them, Belinda. Everybody's pitching in, man, and you guys are helping us out too by putting us on the show and everything. And yeah, man, we'll see you guys there January 2nd at the Spot in Harlingen, Texas.
There you go, guys. All right, man. Well, thank you for coming in and sharing that with everybody. And you're welcome anytime, man. You have any more of these shows, you have my word. You just let me know, and you are more than welcome to come on here and shout it out there. Jackal's Corner has your family's back 1,000%.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Definitely.
Appreciate it. And you guys make sure, anybody that's watching, make sure to like Jackal's Corner
Thank
on
you.
Facebook.
Thank you. Well, let's get right into this podcast. Let me start out by obviously giving shout outs to all of my sponsors. Thank you to 5x5 Brewery out in Mission, Texas for sponsoring us, hooking us up with all the brews that we need for this podcast. And thank you to Concert Culture. Thank you for making this come to life with all the sound stuff that you have helped us out with. Matt, man, you're an amazing dude. You've saved our asses so many times, man. Minutes before launch, and you're right there having our backs. So fucking A to you guys, man. Snack Attack, thank you guys for sponsoring us. All the shirts that you did for us, the masks, fucking awesome. Thank you guys. Thank you to Motor Ramen. If you guys go out to Motor Ramen out there in the Mission Food Park, man, just tell them that you heard this on Jackal's Corner and see what kind of special they give you. And let me know, because I want to know too. But also to
You got it.
snow cones.
By where?
Huh?
By where?
The sea, the beach.
By the beach, yeah.
By the beach. Sorry, homie. Sorry. But yeah, snow cones by the beach out there in South Padre Island, man. Go out there, get yourself some snow cones. Check this out.
Do you want it?
They are.
Beachside snow cone.
You say. Hey, you like messing with me, Jay?
A little bit.
Okay. Well, that's what makes it a great show, right? There's all the fuck ups. Okay, cool. So beachside snow cones. Thank you guys. And please keep sponsoring me. I'm sorry. But yeah, man, go over there, get yourself some snow cones. They make the kiddie snow cones and they make some adult snow cones. So yeah, go love on them, man. The chick that runs that, she's such a nice person. She made one of my homegirls' birthday is fucking awesome by doing that and coming out and doing that. And by the way, she does do private parties. You just gotta pay her. Make sure you remember that part. You gotta pay her. All right. She just doesn't come and show up and be like, "Hey, snow cone." So with that being said, thank you to all my sponsors. You guys make my dream come true every time you guys continue to sponsor me. So thank you. So without further ado, let's get right into this. RuinKros. What's up, guys?
Howdy. What's going on, man? Thank you for having us. Appreciate it.
Oh, most definitely, man. And I like the fact that I'm finding out that you guys have been like around forever and a day. I like getting old school cats up on here because I am a strong believer in the old school way. If you don't got your fucking road stripes, come on now. You can't ask for special privileges or anything if you haven't fucking put the work in. You know.
Yeah, we're celebrating our 21st year.
Hell yeah.
21st year. And this past August was our 21st year. We've been doing our first project is Forsaken Divinity. Started in August 1999.
Oh dang.
Long time, and we've been still at it. Released album almost on a yearly basis up until recently. Now that RuinKros is our main goal right now is for the time being, but we do have a Forsaken Divinity album planned to record as soon as we're done with the RuinKros album. No time off, straight to the studio to start doing the heavy metal stuff. So
nice, man. That's a good thing, man. You have to always keep yourself going, and that's how you become rusty, is when you put out an album and then you're like, okay, I have an album now. I'm gonna sit on this album for 2-3 years and then I'm gonna go in the studio.
I'm gonna milk it.
No, we try to do one every year, at least starting in 2010. We released one every year until 2015, so 5 years back to back, an album a year. And we got signed to a label out of Houston called Dread Lair Records, and
nice.
They're the ones that put out the albums, and we get to sell internationally.
That's great, man.
So
and hopefully bootlegged.
Oh, we are. Oh no, I was gonna say the thing is that we are so bootlegged, like Romania.
Yeah.
Yeah, I find all these bootlegs of our OFD albums in Romania.
Or when you Google
Russia.
your band name.
Yeah, so and that's fine, right? Like it's like the reality
it's flattering.
We don't do, we're not gonna make any money. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter. We just want to get our music out and people to jam it.
When you think about it like this, System of a Down, when they came out with the album, Steal This Album, they literally did it for that reason. They wanted you to steal that from the stores and shit. Yeah,
I remember that. It's a brilliant concept.
Yeah.
It's a brilliant concept.
And how they put it on the burnt disc, Steal This Up, man. I was like, fucking geniuses.
Yeah, I know.
And it guilt tripped people, actually, because they were going to steal it and they look at it and look.
Yeah. I wonder how many did. I wonder how many people's first arrest. I could imagine all these teenagers. First arrest, stealing that album.
I want to see the mug shots of the fucking those weird ass kids doing that weird metal heads
with the short hair, the spiky little spikes with the blonde frost tips.
Were they wearing Jinkos back then and stuff like that? Yeah.
Fucking A, man. I was just like, dude, that's greatness. But I mean, I like bands who break the mold on that type of stuff. There's so many that are like, it just like destroys them when they hear a fan downloaded their shit. They're like,
and I remember that whole Napster thing.
Metallica.
And Metallica. I mean, that's the whole reason why I even picked up the guitar was, the early albums. I remember standing in line for the Black Album. I remember being in line with my uncle.
Fuck yes.
And getting that album, and he was a young metalhead back in the late 90s, early 90s. I'm sorry. And I would, that's who introduced me to metal. One of the first albums I ever heard was "And Justice for All," and I remember he would only just show me the music. He would tell me, "There's no fucking bass in that. Can we cuss?"
Yes.
Yeah. Fuck. Sorry. Don't turn it down. Beep. Yeah, and he would talk to me about production. He would tell me that Boston's just all studio live, and how Rush. They don't need a studio. You go see them live, and it's like better than that. You can't. And so I grew up with that. And then Saturday nights, I would pretend to go to sleep, and he would wake me up, and I go watch Headbangers Ball, and stay up late at night with that. And he would have his friends come over, and barbecue and listen to old school heavy metal. And that's,
Smoking dope.
Yeah. So he had a friend that would show up. They was so much into U2, and they would give him shit about it all the time. I guess they were the Nickelback of the back in the day. I guess I don't know. He showed up in a Camaro with U2 on the hood painted on there. So.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Well, let me tell you this. I like U2,
Yeah.
but I would have made fun of him too having
Yeah.
U2 on his fucking hood. Like,
Yeah. I
But
remember-
secretly cry to the
Yeah.
Joshua tree every
Yeah.
night. Like, oh, with or without you.
right?
Yeah. Hey, it's good
I
stuff.
remember there's this. They had this Vine video that came out, and it's this Irish guy, and he's like, babe, Nirvana's coming to Ireland, and his chick's like, no, they're not. He's like, yeah, they are. They're coming to, come as you are, guy. You're coming. He's like, no, Kurt Cobain's dead. What the fuck? She's like, he's been dead for years. No, yes. He's like, she's like, but Bono's coming. He's like, man, fuck Bono. So like, damn, dude.
I remember being at home watching MTV when Kurt Loder did that special announcement that he had blown his brains out, and I remember that. And it's recently one of my first bands. We did back in high school, back in the mid '90s, and we did we would cover band, which is that's a hard gig, man. I'm gonna tell you,
Yeah.
a lot of people get shit for being in a cover band. Let me tell you, playing other people's music, at least for me, has been very difficult to do. To get it right.
Right.
And so we did a couple of Nirvana songs, and it wasn't until recently that I'm finally understanding the genius behind them. Like, I'm talking about like just a few months ago, I started really paying attention to their production and what they were doing at the time, and so now I'm barely like, maybe there was something to this band that I missed.
You see, the thing is like, with me, I'm a person who I watch a lot of music documentaries.
Yeah.
Like, that's my shit right there.
Yeah.
And there's this one called Soaked in Bleach.
Is that the one his daughter made?
No.
No. Okay.
Soaked in Bleach is a documentary made by the detective that freaking Courtney Love hired to find Kurt Cobain when he disappeared.
Oh.
And dude, there's shit on there that you're just watching and you're like, the fuck? Yeah. Like audio tape of Courtney telling him, oh, like he's missing, but if he winds up dead, even though we're going through a divorce, do I get the money?
Did they break down to animated parts of like of his childhood? No, okay.
No, this one is just, it's like legit set up documentary style.
Is it on Netflix or something?
It
or
was on Netflix. I don't know if it's still on there.
I think I remember encountering it. Once
it just blew my mind. I was like, what
oh,
the
she
fuck?
fucking killed him or had something to do with it.
100%
I'm pretty
agree.
sure. I'm pretty sure. It's like, here, take another hit of that,
Well, this is the thing.
Shoot up.
He goes on talking about how he was supposed to interview the guy who, the friend of theirs, who supposedly was the one who went to the house and couldn't find Kurt and was witness saying that there was not a shotgun when he went and looked, which was just like an hour before this, all of a sudden his body's there. And so the detective goes to interview this guy, and Courtney fucking hooked that guy up with so much fucking heroin he was just falling asleep through the whole interview. So they couldn't take anything from him.
Wow.
Like so many signs.
I want to
that
love
point.
like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I love my wife. I'm just saying.
Yeah. I feel you.
Yeah.
Got some love.
Right.
I recently learned an Elliott Smith song, and it's so weird because I'm metal or whatever the hell, but it's like about drugs and stuff, and made me real tired. I don't know why. Nirvana and like, cause
Yeah, dude, that fucking tripped
That
me out when I
drugs.
watched that movie. I was like, what the fuck? I was like, fuck that bitch. I was like, man, motherfucker. But yeah, dude, it's crazy. But yeah, I watch a lot of documentaries and shit, and like the one with Nikki Sixx. He has his heroin diaries.
Yes,
Bro.
the book was amazing. The book was phenomenal, and like just going into that world. And even when they did the Netflix thing, a lot of people I liked it.
It was
but
great.
Motley Crue is one of my bands. You know what I mean? Like that's
Fuck yeah, dude.
I mean I love that's the whole romantic. When I was little, that shaped, my idea. It gave me a romantic idea of what it was. It's gonna be in music. I didn't do it for the music, I wanted to live that fast life, and then it became about the music. Little, I noticed that, I'm like, okay, yeah, I can't do have that stuff.
I can't snort ants.
Yeah, and I can't do
They
that.
were
I'm not
snorting
crazy,
in that video.
So yeah, but Motley Crue was one of those bands, that I have on cassette, on vinyl and stuff, and always wanted to cover "Shout at the Devil."
Yeah.
I always want to do it. I do a lot of orchestrations. I do a lot of compositions of orchestra music, and I would
Nice.
love to do a version of that with just a bunch of orchestras.
Oh
and stuff
yeah,
like that. So,
definitely.
that's something that once I have time,
Yeah,
once
for
I have
sure.
time and we're caught up on all the albums and can waste some studio time, I would love to do one of those covers. But I love Motley Crue, those documentaries.
Oh,
Anything
yeah.
on Motley, anytime the behind the music. One of my favorite shows back in the day. Do you remember VH1? Where they would go back and find a band that broke up, and they would try to get them back together. Do you remember? What was that called?
Oh,
Is it like bringing the band back or something?
Yeah,
something
Bring the
road-
Band Back.
Right,
Yeah,
something like that.
yeah.
Road
And I
generic.
remember I loved it because it
name.
had a bunch. Because I've always been into I grew up in the '80s, so Flock of Seagulls, Aha, and bands like that that are basically what inspired us to do what we're doing now.
Absolutely.
Those bands. I remember them trying to bring back Flock of Seagulls and all the drama that was going on in the band, and so I was addicted to that show.
What were they fighting about?
It was the
Hairspray or
brother.
what?
The drummer and the main vocalist / keyboardist are brothers, and they were fighting and stuff like that, and so they couldn't go back together, but they played the show and they sounded great, so
I'm gonna go look for that.
It's
stuff.
great,
I'm gonna
yeah.
Watch that show. That would.
I remember they did one with they tried to bring back Culture Club.
yeah,
And fucking Boy George.
Boy George.
He says they're like, why are you acting like a bitch? And he says he straight out said, I just want to smoke meth.
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah, those are hard. Yeah, those
That
guys-
should be a T-shirt, like his face and shit.
I just want to smoke meth.
Yeah.
But no, he's the same motherfucker that fucking straight out. You can check this shit out. He fucking called the cops to tell them that somebody stole his fucking drugs.
What?
Straight up. I was like, that's when drugs go wrong.
Yeah.
Man, you've done too much, bro.
Wow.
Can I get a refill?
Absolutely you
All
can.
right, excellent.
When you know you've done too much drugs, when you think the cops are your friends and they gonna go fucking hunt down your drugs.
Yeah.
Like,
Is there a story of like Stevie Nicks and coming on Oprah and talking about her druggies and she had like an 8-ball in her pocket or something like that on the show? I was like,
A funny little tidbit. Of speaking of that, while we were doing OFD live, we got a guy, and we put on audition for a drummer. For some reason, back in those days, drummers were hard to come by, and we put out an ad, and we got this guy named Eric Wade, whose dad apparently was a roadie for Fleetwood Mac, and so we would go and drink some beers there, and he would tell us crazy stories. And was it bullshit? I don't know, maybe, I don't know. But this guy,
don't tell me he's fucking.
yeah, he had a.
He shot cocaine into
I'm
Stevie
not
Nicks'
even-
ass,
I'm not even
or
lying,
not?
yeah.
Because that would be something.
That's what I didn't want. I love Stevie Nicks. I don't want to.
let me tell you something. Stevie Nicks is always going to be the one and only Gypsy Queen.
Yeah, I love her.
yeah.
That's
I
my
love
girl, dude.
I love her.
Gold
That's the
Lust
one that
Woman.
when all these back in 2016, when all these idols, David Bowie, and later on Prince and stuff, who are one of our inspirations, they started dying off. I remember putting a post. I was like, please wrap her up in bubble wrap. That's the one. Ozzy and Stevie Nicks.
Dude, yeah.
When their time comes, I'm gonna be.
Oh,
Devastated.
bro, I don't even want to think about that.
man.
Like, I'm
Yeah.
gonna tell you this right now, though. But speaking of Ozzy, Sharon's in the hospital right now with COVID.
Oh, I read about that.
And as soon as my wife read that to me, I was like, oh no,
That'll be Johnny Cash's story. If she goes,
he's going.
Ozzy's not gonna. He's
Like,
going
right after.
Oh no!
Right after.
No.
I was like, no.
Oh, yeah, I recently got into. He has a show he goes on a trip with Jack Osborne, and it's just, and I love it. It's
They
just,
have another one on. It's,
Yeah,
with the haunted stuff.
on the Travel Channel. Yeah,
Yeah, where they.
I love everything he does. I don't
yeah,
know why.
I just love Ozzy, dude.
I grew up with Black Sabbath, and that's probably I got to see Ozzy. You know, the whole Alamo story, where
Yeah.
you know. So the when he was finally led back into San Antonio,
Mm-hmm.
it was Ozfest something or other,
Mm-hmm.
and I got to see him with Black Sabbath original lineup, and that, I mean, they opened up with Embryo, which led into Children of the Grave, and it's done.
Yeah.
I mean, and they let it go on more than in song, and everybody was. I mean, the energy was incredible, and that was forever to see them. You know, was bucket list. You know, other than Iron Maiden, my buddies from I don't know if you the Landis brothers, they own a shop, Green Hit. CBD shop.
Yeah.
You know, those are that's like my second family, and
Great people, man.
yeah, they are there. Yeah, and they own that CBD shop in Far, and they were kind enough to. They knew that was on my bucket list, and when they played the Legacy, the Beast tour, they took me with them.
That's what's up, man.
Paid for everything, just
Music.
just go over and I went with them, and I cried. You know, to see Maiden was one of those bands. Sabbath and Maiden. I mean, I don't know what. I mean, they're the ones that really, and Metallica were the ones that got me into.
That got you into that.
Wanted to pick up an instrument. You know?
Yeah.
And there I was. I remember trying to, learn. What's the name of that? Nothing else matters. That where it's all just open.
Ding, ding,
It's the
ding,
easiest,
ding.
and it's messing it up and sounding like crap. And I only knew the first little few bars and stuff, and thinking I'm badass. Going to school, playing in front of all the girls. But it was those bands that very good. But Ozzy is the top of my.
Always.
Man.
I remember I dated this chick back in the day, and I put my Ozzy album on, my Blizzard of Oz, and she starts playing. She's like, "Oh, I can't believe I'm dating a guy that listens to shitty music." I just opened my door. Bye, bitch.
Oh no.
Like, get the fuck out. Like,
I mean, that's the one with the Goodbye to Romance, is
Yeah,
it?
Yeah.
Goodbye to
my
Romance.
God, I mean, that's
And D.
dang. Oh, the intro.
Yeah, I know. Randy Rhoads.
That
Yeah.
and what I love about it too is like later on they got into like synthesizers and stuff like that. The stuff that their keyboardists used is some of the most legendary synthesizers and sounds that you can get. Like right now,
Mr. Crowley.
yeah, the Mr.
Mr.
Crowley, all on
Crowley, dude.
the Moog Model D. I mean, those are just legendary synthesizers. And,
yeah, dude.
and so now that I'm going back to study that stuff, it all leads back. All roads lead back to Ozzy.
Mm-hmm.
It's
You see, like, one of my favorite bands of all time is actually Pink Floyd. Like, like,
Same here.
holy fuck. Like, no.
I can't tell you how many times I mean, we studied
I
Dark Side of the Moon
worship
from a
Pink Floyd.
producer's point of view. Alan Parson,
Yeah.
I mean, cutting tape.
Yeah.
A lot of the synths they use now, for what's the name of that song? On the Run. No.
On the Run, yeah.
You know how they just seen them working
With the
this-
synthesizer.
Oh man, it's just brilliant, And the production of that album, I mean, for its time, still beats half the stuff that you hear now.
Oh,
you cannot
beautiful.
get that sound,
Yeah.
It's a work of art. Roger Waters was a madman.
Yeah, dude. Like,
A genius.
I actually have Dark Side on vinyl, and hey, dude, that's what I tell all my friends. I'm like, I'm the easiest person to shop for anything Pink Floyd.
Yeah.
You cannot go fucking
But
wrong.
can you imagine being a teenager when it dropped, when that album dropped? Imagine like then the atmosphere of that time, being in a basement or just going to go buy that and with your real friends. You guys played a badass game of Dungeons and Dragons or something,
Yeah.
weird, and
Maybe found a joint from
Yeah,
your uncle
from,
or something.
crazy. And just putting it on for. I mean, we grew up with it already established, right?
Yeah.
Already knowing it, but to where no one hears it for the first time,
Yeah,
Like,
be the
you're
first ones to get to hear it.
I mean, can you imagine that? I don't know. That's
It just like it's amazing, and I freak out with people when I meet people and they're like, "Yeah, it's not that great." I'm like, "You don't have ears."
I mean, Echoes is one of the greatest songs on metal. Echoes is
man.
oh man,
Yeah.
that one of the plugins.
21 minutes of pure ecstasy for your ears.
One of the.
Yes.
I have a. So for the studio, we have a studio called Duende Studios where we focus on sound design, and it's just meant for synthesizers and stuff like that. So if a band wants certain sounds that they can't produce somewhere, we have it open to where we can create any sound that you want. And so I invest a lot of money in synthesizers and software. And one of the ones I have was created where they took all the Pink Floyd sounds. So on that plugin, you have all the echo keyboards, the Vision Bell, a Momentary Lapse of Reason. All their keyboard sounds that Richard Wright had are there already at your fingertips. So, I mean, I got lost for hours just... I know some of the keyboard parts, and just it was just incredible. So, sometime soon, one of these days, once we get older, we're reaching our 40s as well.
Yeah.
And I go, once we're done with the metal stuff and the electronic stuff, and we're a little bit older, we want to sit down and write
Psychedelic.
something like that. Something with acoustics and just beautiful keyboards.
Well, I'm gonna tell you this: is like one of my things is I'm always looking for people that are really hardcore Floyd fans, because I've always wanted to do a Floyd tribute band.
Oh man, that would be amazing.
And
Bro, David Gilmour, Richard Wright.
Have you heard David Gilmour's
great.
like his solo stuff? He has a song.
I actually have David Gilmour's vinyl too.
Oh,
Yeah,
what's that?
which one? There's no way out of here.
Oh
when
my
you
God.
get there.
I'll show you guys after the podcast. I'll actually put it on for you guys.
There's no way out of here. Yeah.
David
man,
Gilmour.
that song just
Yeah.
melts me. Man.
I like his latest stuff too. I'm a nerd of fanatic.
On the island, he
of,
has
yeah,
on.
on the island.
Oh my God, that song is.
Yeah,
beautiful.
dude.
Yeah, man. Like,
He's a beautiful guy. I say he's the best guitar player because he can sing and play guitar. I was like
Yeah.
Jimmy
And not
Page,
just sing. I mean,
and just
best vocalist.
Yeah,
You know
you
what I
know.
mean?
Yeah.
I'll fight someone and be like, he's the best guitarist
I've
ever.
had dreams.
Yeah.
I had several recurring dreams where I'm the guitar tech for them. And can you just imagine? Like I imagine when I hear his guitar, like the intonation, the spacing of string on the fretboard, the pick. I mean, that is his Fenders. I mean, just perfect. I think that even if you don't know how to play, you could just touch
It sounds good.
and just sound good. You know what
Yeah.
I
You
mean?
just
Like-
did a little beep. Just like, yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah, man. Hey, I'm happy that you guys are Floyd fans like me,
Oh, yeah.
because
And I love like their obscure stuff,
Yeah.
like their soundtracks and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Man, I jam that religiously and like
Yeah, we did.
you know,
It's since since we were. I mean,
yeah,
man.
since I got into like making music myself, so I was like, that's the band that did it for me.
Oh.
Them, that's the band. I was like, this is why I want to make music. Like,
it's exactly with me. Yeah.
not just to pick up chicks, but because it's just beautiful
Yeah.
guitar tones, whatever.
It's
Like,
amazing.
it was like beautiful. It was like introduction to like a religion or something to me. It was just
Exactly.
beautiful.
I remember that was I don't really crying when we heard when Richard Wright passed on and just thinking about all the sounds and in fact with RuinKros I have a lot of those vintage sounds on the songs. Like you're gonna hear like once the album is done and you hear the synthesizers, there's a lot of very 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 Pink Floydish synthesizers that we use on there
Nice.
that are from that era. I mean, although they're digital replications of it, because
Yeah.
the actual synthesizers are like $5,000, $6,000,
Yeah.
$7,000.
Expensive.
But the companies are doing a real good job, emulating those sounds, and it gives us, musicians that would never otherwise have access to those sounds because we can't afford those synthesizers, right?
Yeah.
And so now those of us that are into synths and writing music on that, they allow no longer sound is literally our instrument. That is our instrument. It's actual sound. And so that gives us such a broad range of what we can do. The other day I released a song that was created in the studio by accident, where I was playing a piano, a little jazzy piano lick, and I just usually when I get to the studio, press record and just let the whole thing go, and something was creating a little weird static sound, and so I kept it in the studio and added some dark drones in the background and all that by accident. And that goes back to the documentary I've seen at Pink Floyd, where it's just messing around the studio and just accidentally coming up with stuff. And
what do you think about the Wizard of Oz and Pink Floyd?
Man.
It's just a trip. It's just like crazy.
Dude.
Yeah, that stuff is like, did they do it like?
Yeah, they had to. Right?
No.
But I know, yeah.
No,
Yeah.
not at all.
No,
Not at all.
I've heard that you could do like the Dr. Drake's Chronic at the same time and like it syncs
Well, I
up to
tried
it too
that
or
and
something. It didn't work.
No.
Okay.
Are you
But-
serious?
I don't know.
I tried it and it didn't work. See, and like me and my homeboy who lives upstairs, like there, we fucking dropped acid and
Nice.
and he's like, "What should we watch?" I was like, "Oh, I got something for you, bro."
Yeah.
Fucking put that on. Dark Side of the what is it?
Dark Side of
the Rainbow?
Oz.
Dark Side
yeah,
of the Rainbow.
Yeah, Dark Side of the Rainbow.
And he was watching. He's like, "Oh, what the fuck?"
It's nuts. You know.
The first time I saw that shit, I was like, "These guys sold their
What's
soul
that
to
part?
the
The
devil."
one they read, that part they got me round and round, and it does the cuts and that when it says that when they're talking about the scarecrow,
Mhm.
something on the hill.
Yeah.
What does he say? The madman on the hills or something like
Yeah.
that. I forget. I forget. Huh?
Someone in my head, but it's not me.
Yeah,
and,
someone
oh
in
man,
my-
and then the heartbeat and everything.
Oh, when it comes to color, when money comes on, like that shit right there was just like, what
dude.
the fuck? They got money now. They got color.
Yeah.
And just the premise of Wizard of Oz is super dark. I saw a documentary on it, and
Mhm.
there's people that got killed and assaulted and suicide and all this crazy.
You know what it's
Crazy
about
stuff.
though, right?
The actual movie now.
Okay, so the actual movie is about so the author who wrote the original book,
Yeah.
it's about his niece. That's who Dorothy is.
Yeah.
And they grew up in Kansas, and it's about her because she lived this like fantasy life type thing. So that's what it's all about.
And the sad
And
story.
she ended up dying. She ended up dying from cancer, and that's why he wrote the book about her.
Oh man, that's even
So
darker,
the
man.
part where she's knocked out in the coma, that's because she went into a coma. That's how she died. She went into a coma and she never came out of it.
Oh man.
Yeah.
And even Dorothy, the actress Judy
Garland.
her story is just sad
Yeah.
as well. You know, so very dark. So.
Yeah.
But I want to know who was the first person to realize the album one with that.
To be like,
what were
let's
they on?
fucking-
You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
Who is
One
that?
time, remember when we listened to Over First Decade of the Machines,
Yeah.
and we like for some weird reason we're fucking stoned. We're like, let's put it to the Transformers 1980s animated movie, and it synced. You know, we're just so I imagine it being kind of like that. We're just like, let's just for shits
Yeah.
and giggles, and it was just like maybe we're
Yeah.
just high, but it felt like magical moment. I was like, this
Yeah.
is the meaning of life, like right here.
Well, Pink Floyd now released the DVD that it's synced.
Really?
Yeah. So
wow.
Damn.
Well,
Floyd-
that band Over, that's probably out of all the bands that inspired us at this very moment. That's the
That's
number
the
one
band.
band.
yeah.
They went from
And-
like heavy extreme metal to folk guitars, and then like now they're electronic, you know.
Mhm.
So it
But-
fits what we've done with OFD and RuinKros pretty much.
And,
Nice.
and I consider them the Pink Floyd of our generation. If
Nice.
you gotta give them, I'll send you some stuff.
Yeah, definitely, please.
They remind me of they're the Pink. What they're everyone's down here and they're already this far ahead, just
Yeah.
like the way Pink Floyd was in their prime.
Yeah.
And I reminds it just to me they're the modern day Pink Floyd, and they blow me away with their music, and that's the number one band that we look up to. And it's funny because we went to New York to go. They played their first show in American soil back in
we were
March of
there.
last year,
Mhm.
and we went out there, and we flew to New York, and we were put on their VIP list. We got backstage, and we got to meet them, hang out with them. I met the drummer online by accident, and
Nice.
talked. I proposed to my fiance there at the show, and so it's like if you were to go meet Pink Floyd, how would that was my experience. You know, it's my favorite band of all time, and then we got to get personal with them. Well, I did.
I feel like I missed out a little bit, but I passed out in the VIP sofa listening to my favorite band. You know,
passed on a
So-
$5,000 fancy Victorian sofa.
Yeah, so I fell asleep listening to, like, if I was at home on vinyl, like live.
Man, that's probably a better story than mine. That's
I woke up and I ate some pizza and I was badass. We came home with some badass merch, autographed shit. So I was like, hey, I got to hear. I was like overjoyed. I remember taking a piss next door at this restaurant that we're eating, and they have craft beers, and so like I'm used to drinking like Natural Light or Bush or whatever. So and he drinks fancier beers, and we're drinking like fucking weird ass but 9% alcohol beers. So I was drinking. I remember taking a piss. I could hear them sound check out, just like getting amped up, and I had too much rock and roll in me. I was just like,
It's what's up, man.
yeah.
It's what's up, man. So, do you guys have any shows lined up or?
Well, unfortunately, the COVID. I'm high risk. You know what I mean?
Okay, I feel you.
So
I feel you.
I'm very weary. This is the first time we've gone out to do
Okay.
anything since the whole.
We've
the
been
whole-
hermits, pretty
and-
much.
No, I feel you,
Yeah,
man.
and so we've been asked nonstop, which is pretty. So when we did this, I was kind of weary on how it was going to be accepted in the metal community, because that's who we are. You know what I mean? And so here we are doing electronics, and a lot of people say, well, all they do is push a button.
Oh hell no!
Oh hell no!
Let me tell you, this has turned out to be the hardest, most tedious project.
From just setting up itself is a hassle. Like we had to make sure we organized like all our cables are like numbered and color coordinated, because it is a freaking hassle. And there's only two of us, and so it's like, fuck. It is
So every time now when we do live, we're like, can we go first?
Yeah, like we don't mind.
We need to be there and do that stuff. So the promoters have been really well. We got accepted all over the state. We had shows for the summer before the COVID to go to Dallas, all the major cities.
Open
the golf,
up for some good
the golf culture.
golf scene, yeah.
Really loved it. And to my surprise,
shout out to Corpus Christi,
Yeah,
man. We played there, and
Right
it was like a
before the-
goth night. And
Where'd you guys get to play there, man?
Boozers?
Boozers, fuck yeah,
Yeah.
dude.
awesome.
Before I moved to the valley, that's where I lived.
Oh, really?
yeah.
I'm from Kingsville. That's where
Oh,
born and
fuck.
raised.
I was in Saffron from Corpus for a while, so like,
Shut the fuck
I sang
up.
for like maybe 9 months, a year. I was singing for Saffron. I lived there with Robert.
Dude,
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck yeah, dude.
Yeah, so
Great shit.
uh,
See, when I lived in Corpus, I used to manage the band Killamora.
Oh yeah.
Bro,
oh, I remember
those-
that band from Corpus.
I tell
Yeah.
people all the time when I meet like these young, okay, how I will put it, these young dickheads that think that just because they learned how to play fucking two strings that they're fucking just God's gift to the fucking music scene. I'm like, listen, let me show you something. Look at this band Killamora. You motherfuckers are in their fucking late 40s and 50s and fucking dominate a stage. Fucking 1,000 times better than you. Don't have that attitude, you know? All these people that are like, oh, but they're old. Yeah, they may be old, but you know what?
Experienced.
Watch when they get on that stage. They're going to light that fucking audience up more than you have ever lit it up.
I remember that.
You know? And I can't stand that. I believe that these bands that are coming up need to give respect to the veterans that have been paving the fucking doors and kicking those fucking doors open for them to have a stage to play on.
Yeah.
Because I remember a time growing up that metal was not a fucking... No, like it was hard for a metal band to get fucking booked anywhere.
Oh, I mean, when we started, no venues wanted to host us. We did them in the middle of ranches, on trailers. We played in Reynosa, in an abandoned building across a famous club back in the day called the Alaskan. And we were in Mexico, and we had to walk with our gear about 2 miles in, and so this is before the cartel, right before the cartel stuff, and we had to run off a generator, and candles lit up the place, and Mexico was nuts because I remember we were playing our song. Right after we finished the song, a guy got on stage. It was like, "Hey, I need to make an announcement." We're like, "Okay, so go ahead." So he says, there's a guy that was walking around poking people with the same needle, walking around. And so they caught him, and while we're playing, they got him and they beat the shit out of him. You know, they dragged. I was like, man, this is insane. So back in those days, you know, people were starving for those metal shows, and I mean, back in those days, I mean, it was 200, 300, 400 people almost at every show, like nonstop. But it was very rare too. It wasn't as saturated. There wasn't a show every weekend. You know, you'd be lucky if it was once a month, and then some. And we mixed punk, ska, black metal, death metal, all in one show. So we had all these kids from different, you know, metal cultures together, and that's how we expanded our, you know, so many bands came out of that, you know, that are now, you know, a lot of the bands are not around anymore that started off in those days, but the projects that came from those interactions are still around. You know, you mix different ideologies, and it's been awesome. You know, we played with Confused, Pantheon, and you know, I don't remember, what are they called? Catastrophe. I don't know. Yeah. You know, it was awesome, very unique bands that started off in those days, and you know, they're still around. Some of those, Severance.
Yeah. The cool story with Severance, we did this little South Texas black metal. And
it's my phone. I was like, what?
And I booked Severance at a strip club, at a titty club and stuff like that, and it was like the first time they ever had been booked at a titty club. Them and a band called Immortal Guardian. I forget what they're called now. They're real popular. Yeah.
They're still Immortal Guardian.
Okay, yeah. Well, yeah. So
they released a new video or something.
Yeah, you know, they were like young, you know, real young. That guy Gabriel, I remember seeing him at Melhart when he was like 13 years old, and he was just like tearing it up.
His dad was with him, and
his dad was like, take him out, because you know how everyone goes to fucking. They said
he was a kid, and we were like,
I was like, who are you?
Nothing Else Matters opening, you know what I mean? It's like,
bang, bang,
you know,
bang, bang.
To play synthesizer, and then they got Josh now, and Josh is just him alone. He's just
fuck.
I mean,
Josh from fucking
Widowmaker. Yeah.
Bro, I'm gonna tell you now.
He's a genius. He's talented.
Jesus, that guy.
I know it's
just too fucking. I'm like, are you even fucking human, dude?
Yeah.
Like, this guy is just. You get him. I tell everybody when they ask me who should I get to record my shit, Josh Lopez. Don't fuck around. His price is worth it.
Yeah.
And pay that fucking man, because he is fucking amazing.
Yeah.
He is one of the people that I want on this podcast so much, because he's done so much for the RGV.
Yeah.
And he always gives love to the RGV. Yeah. And these are the people that I want.
We've been considering him a lot to record one of our songs. We've been wanting to go outside of the
we've
studio.
We've been talking little bit here and there, and you know, we want to work with him very bad, because you know he
hear good things, and
he does, man. He's amazing, man.
Because I hear he has video games there too in the studio.
Yeah.
So,
you know,
Lee, go ahead and redo that track. I can play Pac-Man real quick.
You know, and that's what's awesome. I mean, I'm a very picky person when it comes to the way music sounds when it comes out. I am super picky. I went to school for music. Like, I got my doctorate in music. Like, music is everything to me. And everything I've ever heard that man record is fucking fire. It's just like, what the fuck, man? Yeah. And that's why I tell people, why fuck around? Yeah. Do you want good? You got to pay for it. Yeah. You know?
And it's true. That's one thing I've learned in my time is you know, you got to pay. You know, you go cheap on instruments, you go cheap on recording, and you do get what you pay for. And so, even though I have all the access to do all the mastering in my studio, I'm a perfectionist. I'm like, okay, it sounds good as it is, but I want it to sound amazing. So there's a couple of him, Charlie Vela out of Westlaco. We plan to go with him too, and then JD from Negative Audio out of Mission.
Really
Those
good.
three producers are just, I love their work, and we've actually gone with JD to produce one of our songs, and then we went with Charlie already to do some other tracks. So we just need to get with Josh, hopefully, you know. And
man.
get the 3 best studio producers on our album. I mean,
And
that
if
sound great.
when you guys get ready for like album art, graphic, anything like that, hit up Frank Salinas.
Yes, I know him too. Yeah, we go back to
Yeah.
with him, and but I'm a digital artist too. So you know
Yeah.
we're fully self-contained, but we do reach out. I worked with some of the guy that did our art too is Eden
Oh yeah.
Belmontes,
Mm-hmm.
and he's amazing too. So
Yeah.
we commissioned
Yeah.
we commissioned some artwork from him as
The
well.
t-shirts?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we got some praying hands, and then he drew us a female our t-shirt design, and so we're trying
There's
to.
boobies on it.
Yeah.
I'll take the one with
Yeah.
The other day, some girl, I was at the liquor store, and the girl was like looking. I was like, "Excuse me, my eyes are up here. I know you're looking at her beautiful tits, but."
And we even put a little Easter egg. The girl she's supposed to be chained up, S&M style, and she has all these cords going into her, and there's a synthesizer, right? And she has a tattoo that says OFD with a little heart on there. So throwing back, homage to our roots and stuff like that. So.
That's fucking cool, bro.
So we try to outsource him too, but Frank is also very, very amazing with
Man.
with Ramsey. Oh man, I tripped out on their 40 caliber kits, their cover of
Blind Light. Yeah, bro.
The video
Yeah.
is freaking amazing.
I fucking love those guys, dude. Like, those guys are one of my top favorite bands down here. I fucking love those guys. They are the very first band that made me feel like I was a fucking teenager again at a fucking rock show just in the 90s. Like, fuck yes, having a good time. And I'll never forget that. I mean, especially, I have a lot of fucking illnesses. That's why I said I understand where you are coming from, because I have lupus. I have a zero immune system. So usually if I watch everybody who's going to come on my podcast, I see how they are, and I notice that you guys are not people that are always out and about and all that shit. So that's like, I'm like, fuck it, fuck yeah. Most people, I have my thermometer, boom, masks, fuck that, But you guys are good people, man, and you guys are doing good shit.
I hope we were hermits even before COVID, so this is nothing. It's super
just like,
easy for
fucking
us. They're
great,
like, I feel like sometimes we have to go to metal shows to keep our membership active or something. We're like, like it's been a year. We need to go to another show, bro, before they kick us out of the club.
We stay home and just make music, record. I mean, we have so much music that we haven't released. It, half done, almost done, and stuff. And the moment I get over it and I want to do something else, we push ourselves. So. I have a home studio, so there's no reason to just stay home and make music, put out albums, because
absolutely.
There's a lot of bands that play every weekend and it's great, but there's no one album, 2 albums, maybe.
Yeah,
I want
absolutely.
all my volume of music to be out. The moment's done, we want it out there, so.
Absolutely. Well, it's getting close to that time, so what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and throw some jams on.
Yeah.
So I downloaded all the stuff you gave me on the USB. So either we can play the video on YouTube. I have it set up for it's on your page. I don't want to ruin these things. I'll excerpt from Isolation, Live at Boozers, Live at Yetveria.
We have No Safe Passage is on there, and Necro Machina, which actually we brought him in to do some guest vocals, and I think one of the lines comes out in the actual song. So he came out on the Necro Machina track. I put an ad on Craigslist. Eddie, yeah, I'm sorry, yes. We put looking for a guitarist, Depeche Mode style, and that's how we met through a little ad on Craigslist, and he came out to the studio and we did some vocals, and we had to. After that, we found a hiss on the audio, so all the session was for nothing. But we went to Charlie's and we were able to salvage a little bit of the parts. So
okay,
he does help us out on that a little bit there. So we heard him sing and we liked it. We tried to get him in before he started his current band.
Nice.
Which I would say, but I would probably ruin it. Monodacy. There you go. And we were talking about earlier where how With us, we're RuinKros. People call it RuinKros or something, and we're like, we have that to where our names kind of get misinterpreted.
Yeah, the guys at Red Hours just say Monopoly here.
Yeah.
I know. Fucking one.
But this is No Safe Passage. This was our first single off of Confused Records. This has JD from Severance playing guitar.
Oh, damn.
On the track. I'm doing all the synthesizer, and of course my brother is doing the vocals on there. So.
Well, frick yeah.
Let me play that. Mike's your
Okay, guys, man. Hopefully you guys enjoyed those jammy jams, and we are going to end our podcast. There, we are going to play a little bit more jams and stuff like that of theirs on here, but we are going to close out. So I'm going to go ahead and let my bros go ahead and do their closing stuff. Any shout outs, any extra info you guys want to throw out there? This is your shot.
There's so much to say. I don't know.
I just want to say shout out to Confused Records. They supported us since day one. That song that you just heard was the first song that they heard a couple years ago. Because that song, we've been working on this album for about 2.5 years already, and they're giving us a chance to help us out with producing that album, pushing it out. And so we're looking at a June 2021 release date. Hopefully, our first show back to finally answer the question you asked. Hopefully, our first show back will be sometime in June at a CD release party, and invite a couple bands to come, and hopefully things are safe by then. To be able to do it comfortably and have people come out, and so shout out to them, and shout out to my wife too, that's puts up with me spending money on very expensive passion of mine. So she
puts up with us drinking and screaming and watching the Cowboys or fucking jamming out, making noise.
That's for the support.
And she drives us to the shows.
She dropped us off here.
Yeah,
she takes us to our shows and stuff.
Yeah, and she helps loads equipment. She's a great woman.
Yeah, she's stronger than I am, so she can lift the heavy.
There you go.
So yeah, and also to all the people that have reached out. We have a lot of people that hit us up almost on a daily basis, showing love, sharing our music, sharing our stuff,
wearing their shirts or something like that.
And it means
a lot
to us, because without that, it would feel like we're we suck. So at least I think that we're okay. You know what I mean? We we not quit our day jobs yet, but hopefully soon.
The Lambo's on ice.
Yeah. But and also thank you to you guys for giving us a platform to come and talk a little bit, talk music. Hopefully we do this again.
Yeah, definitely.
We can go long. I mean, we could talk music for hours, man.
We didn't even get to mention, starting with OFD or nothing.
We just talk music. And
next time,
man. Next time we'll plan it where you guys can just crash out at my crib.
Yeah, there you go.
Just make sure to give us a like. Facebook and YouTube. I try to make us do content, so maybe we'll do a little live Facebook thingy soon where we play a song or two or something like that.
Definitely, man.
One last thing, we're on all major stream platforms.
I recommend Tidal.
You get to hear us in high quality, but if not Spotify, because you know how they had that yearly end, so.
Yeah.
So we saw some good numbers, and we would like you guys to check us out on there. We have 3 singles right now that will be on the album, and hopefully you guys enjoy.
Does Tidal give you guys any kind of compensation?
No, not yet. Everything goes to the whatever plays. Those things. I don't know how anyone makes money off there unless you're.
I don't either, because like I try to set up with Tidal and they try to charge me. I'm like, why the fuck am I gonna pay if you're not gonna fucking pay my
Well,
people?
that's handled through the label, so we really appreciate. They handle iTunes, Tidal, and when I hear the songs on Tidal, you hear the different. It sounds great.
Well, then there you go. That's the perk of it.
And then our YouTube channel has our live videos, from our concerts that we've done.
Little documentaries, in the studio diary. I'm a big fan of documentary.
Yeah.
I love in the studio stuff,
Yeah.
And I love it, so I try. It's very personal, and that's how you gain a lot of the fans, by being personal. I mean, there's on my Facebook, I've been involving everybody since day one, showing them stuff, and they're like, why do you put out all your music? Hey man, I want to get them interested. We're not playing live right now, and just give them a little bit of taste, incomplete songs, little things and stuff, because it keeps them interested. And I love when bands do that. I follow that. I follow the shit out of that. I love it, and I'm a sucker for that kind of stuff. So it helps. Get to see the intimate process of recording, being honest about the music. And doing video diaries. And even if 3 people watch it, we're good.
There you go.
And it's good when I'm old and done, and I can look back at all that film that we have, and my kids. I mean, I know I made it when I heard my kids singing. We have a song called "Witch," which is on there. and the kids love it. You know, even my 4-year-old, all my kids. I when I heard them singing it while they were playing in the room.
That's it.
That's
I
it.
remember
That's all
made
that
it.
matters.
we were in the
Oh, yeah.
car ride and I hear them. It's like, put on Witch. And they're like, you know, vibing it. Or my little niece and daughter, she's like, whenever we're jamming out, she's just like dancing like a free spirit inside the room. You know, it's real cute.
That's what's up, man.
So that's how I made it. But anyway, yeah. So thank you for having us. Hopefully we do
Absolutely.
it again. And thank you to that 5x5 beer.
That was delicious.
Amazing.
It was the Moorfield Blonde.
Moorfield and the Foo Bar.
Foo Bar.
And I'm excited. The Brunette Bombshell is my personal favorite from them, and I
Definitely.
can't wait to.
Do they make big dude shirts?
Yes, they
I
do.
totally need to get a big dude shirt.
where the
there.
owner is a big dude, so
Okay.
definitely do.
Hey, Big Dudes United.
It's our time, y'all. But yeah, thank you to them too for sponsoring you and allowing you to give us musicians.
It's awesome. It's whole concept of the podcast is a great thing. I'm gonna make sure I keep on following up on it.
Thank you.